And welcome back, folks, to another Michigan football film study focused on the offense with that man they call Al Borges. We are back for another season.
We're
I
talking
remember
ball, Sam.
years
We're
ago.
talking ball.
Yeah, it's crazy, Al. I remember years ago, we started this thing out and you were sitting in front of a green screen. It was all
Ooh, not
green
good.
and back
Not
of you, and you were all up in the screen like this. Now look at you, well lit with a nice confetti screen and a national
Oh
championship
man,
background. It's crazy how far we've come out, Borges.
I'm a seasoned veteran now, Sam, and it's all because of you. I mean, you brought me around, and I wasn't easy, but I got it done. Yeah, no, I'm just excited. We're talking about football again, Sam. This is good. This is
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
Oh,
and you got a fan, base, Al.
oh,
You got a
Sam.
fan following everywhere you go. They know Gorgeous Borges. The
Oh, I
ladies know
know.
Gorgeous
Oh, yeah.
Borges. How about that?
The chicks have always known me, Sam. That's just been my deal. I didn't need this show for that. But yeah, this is great. I mean, coming off a phenomenal football season and a lot of fun because we broke down some really interesting stuff. So I was really looking forward to the next opportunity to do this. So, I need my fix, Sam. It's that time of year now. Good. They play Saturday, uh, and we haven't had any football really for a while. So this gives me that fix. When you stop coaching, there's always a little void there. But this breakdown and film study just really helps me get my football fix and get my head back together.
I'm right there with you, Al. And listen, so we have come a long way. When we first started doing the film study, it was strictly for the entertainment, the education, and the edification of you, the listener.
All those things. Yeah.
Why?
All of them.
Because we were not profiting from these film studies. All right. We weren't just taking this footage for our use. That's just not what we do. But this is a labor intensive process. I mean, Al Borges is hard work being gorgeous, right? I mean,
Not easy, Sam. Me gorgeous is a work in progress. Yeah.
right, right. So, because it's so much work being gorgeous, it takes money for that time. And you fans were so generous
They
because
were.
you're football junkies and you love Michigan. You said you're going to fund the film study, right? After a couple of years of doing it, just started because we're football junkies too and we love Michigan too. We just said we're going to do it, but you said you're going to fund it. You funded the film study last year and it was amazing. And Michigan won the national championship. And boy, oh boy, when it got to the playoffs, Al, you and Vance took it to another level because what you did was both you and Vance, you went to the lab and you watch game film on a level that only coaches do when they're actually coaching. You know how when you went back to be an analyst and you were watching all that game film, that's what you
Mhm.
did for the fans.
Mhm.
I remember sitting at the Rose Bowl and I swear to you folks, I had a scouting report. I felt like I knew what Nick Saban was. I knew how to attack Nick Saban. You know why I knew how to attack Nick Saban? Because Gorgeous Borges told me, Sam, motions and shifts, Sam Webb. Motions and shifts, Sam Webb. Isn't that what you told me, Al Borges?
Yeah, motions and shifts, play action, pass shots, exploit their match three. There were so many things, and I was fortunate enough to coach against them several times. So I had a feel for what they did. I mean, you still got to execute it. It's not about that, but we had a good idea, and I'm sure, and their staff in Michigan had a real good idea on how to go after them, and they got the execution it took. I mean, it wasn't easy, but they
Well,
made it happen. But we're gonna do better this year, Sam. We're
well,
gonna do better this year.
listen to me. It was a blueprint. It was the best. You could not find anywhere in the country outside of the actual coaching staffs. Certainly not ESPN, not Fox, not any analysis anywhere could you find a better scouting report than you found right here on the Michigan Football Breakdowns and the Michigan Football Film Studies.
You know why, Sam?
Couldn't find it.
Because this is what we do.
It's what we do. What we do. We got
We do.
guys who have coordinated for years, for decades, right? Doing it for you. And they did it on another level. They went and they actually poured over seasons worth of tape. First of Alabama, then of Washington. Al and Vance carved those teams up. And if you watch those previews, you went into those games knowing exactly what's going to happen. And if you think I'm lying, go back and watch the previews and tell me if you don't feel like Nostradamus watching them. And so they were fantastic. They were amazing. They were so amazing that our friends at Autograph saw it. What's Autograph, you ask? We told you all about Autograph last week. Autograph is Tom Brady's baby. Who's Tom Brady? I don't have to tell you who TB12 is, do I? People know who TB12 is, don't they?
I don't think so, Sam. I think they got a pretty good idea now.
TB12 to the rescue. See, TB12 appreciates football junkies. TB12 appreciates great analysis. And TB12 knows what it is to meet the fans where they are. That's where the Autograph app came in. And like I said, we told you about it last year. Well, now you will be able to find the Michigan Football Film Studies exclusively on the Autograph app. Now, some of you don't know what the Autograph app is. What is Autograph? First of all, it's what you already do as a fan. You already read blogs. You listen to podcasts. You watch breakdowns, film studies like ours. Well, now you can do that all in one place. Palm of your hand. Phones like this. Your iPhone. Your Android. I'm a Droid guy. Don't laugh. I'm a Droid guy. Your iPad. Right here on your device. It aggregates the fan experience. And not only does it put all of that fandom in the palm of your hand, but as you have these fan consumptions in the palm of your hand, you earn points. You earn rewards for doing what you already do, being a fan. And you're able to redeem those points for rewards. It doesn't get any better than that. And the Autograph app is completely free. It's available on Android and iOS, currently featuring NBA, WNBA, Major League Baseball, NFL, fantasy football, NCAA sports, with more sports on the horizon. And again, like I said, now exclusively the Michigan Football Film Studies, focused on the defense with Vance Bedford, focused on the offense with Al Borges. You will only find them on the Autograph app. And that's how we're going to be able to do these moving forward, because this is labor-intensive process. And so Tom Brady said, hey, we want you guys to be able to do these film studies at a high level, and we're going to make sure you can by putting them on the Autograph app. So they came to the rescue to make sure we can continue to do them, because, folks, we might not have been able to do them were it not for the Autograph app, but now we can. And all you got to do is download the app. So listen, see that QR code right there on the screen? My great producer, Lance, is putting that QR code up for you right now. Download that app. All you got to do is scan it. If you're an iOS user, scan that QR code. If you're a Droid user, scan that QR code. If you don't know how to scan a QR code, we still have you covered. I know we have some technology neophytes out there. You just want to type in a URL. I got you. It's link.ag.fan/Sam Webb. Again, link.ag.fan/Sam Webb. We will put that link in the description. We will put it in the comment section. This first episode, which is concepts. We've been telling you for years we're going to do a concepts episode where we're going to tell you about duos and counters is what we're going to get into in this episode, so you can use it as a key.
The key?
Yeah, this one will be on YouTube, free for you to reference all season long. But after this episode, all episodes of the Football Film Studies will be exclusively on the Autograph app. It is free. You just have to download it. Okay? So download that app right now. Now, Al,
Yep.
I got some more exciting news.
Oh,
Okay?
Jesus. It just keeps getting better, Sam.
It keeps getting better. It keeps getting better.
Yep.
So you guys did such a great job dialing up Nick Saban. Because I mean, hell, you guys forced Nick Saban to retire. Maybe not you guys. Sharon and Jim Harbaugh and the team forced Nick. And Nick was like, damn it, mercy. Damn, I got to get out of here. They dialed me up so bad. All right. He's out of there. It was one of those things where the fans were like, I'm sitting in the stands feeling like I know exactly I know how to attack Alabama because Borges said fans were sitting in the national championship game. I know how to attack Michael Penix because what Coach Bedford, I know how to do. I know what to do. So we said, let's take this to another level. Let's do it to Ohio State. So what if Al and Vance scouted Ohio State for the entirety of the season? And what if during the bye weeks, of which there are 2 this season, instead of taking those weeks off, what if we broke down the Buckeyes? What if we had Buckeye film studies in the bye weeks? So in addition to scouting Michigan on a weekly basis, so we do the Michigan football film studies weekly, but in the background, Vance and Al are going to be watching Ohio State film and keeping track of the plays. And then when the bye week rolls around, they'll pull up select plays, and we will do the Buckeye film study in the first bye week, which I think is week 6. And then over the next 4 or 5 weeks leading into the next bye week, they will compile more Buckeye plays. And we'll do another Buckeye film study in the second bye week. And when I say the Buckeyes will be dialed up like you Michigan fans have never seen before, you think the Buckeyes were paranoid about Connor Stallions? You think they were paranoid about Connor Stallions? We're going to have them dialed up worse than Connor. We're going to have all their signs, folks.
That's right. Sam,
we're going to have all
the stuff that even signals can't give them. You know what I mean? We're going to go beyond that.
All the signs. See, so here's what you got to do, folks. See, but to make this happen, because this is basically what coaches do. They hire former coaches to be analysts. Well, you have your own analyst crew. See, I said it's hard work. It's hard work being as gorgeous as Al. All right. We've gotten Autograph on board. And so we funded the Michigan film study. But if we're going to fund the Buckeye film study, we got to fund it. We got to get it going. We got to do the fundraiser, right? We got to fund the Buckeye breakdown. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So if you want to help make it happen, we got the link to the Buckeye breakdown PayPal page, right? So we got the Buckeye breakdown focused on the offense with Al. The Buckeye breakdown focused on the defense with Vance. We're going to fund these film studies all season long. And when I tell you there's nothing like it, there's been nothing like it before, and there'll be nothing like it after. This is the only thing like it around. It is going to be outstanding. Buckeyes are even going to tune in for it. Trust me.
Hey, Sam, they're going to know more about the Buckeyes than the Buckeyes know about themselves.
Right. All right, so let's get it going. I promise you, we're going to know more about Chip Kelly, Ryan Day. We're going to have them all down. Jim Knowles, we're going to know exactly what they're going to do. All right? So let's get it dialed up now. We're going to keep it running throughout the season. We're going to take care of Al. We're going to take care of Vance. We're going to have these scouting reports like you've never seen. You think Connor Stallions knew what the signs were? Not like this. Not like this. They're not like us. Not like us. We're better. You watch. So help us fund the Buckeye breakdowns, and we're going to get it started. And don't forget, download the Autograph app for the film studies. Go to the Buckeye breakdown page to help fund the Buckeye film study breakdowns. All right, let's get it started, Al. Boy, I told you we had exciting news. Are you excited? I hope you folks are excited. I'm so excited. The season is upon us. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Zach Smith.
Hey, Zach. I throw some water on you, man.
Hey, Zach. Hey, shout out to Zach Smith. We're gonna give you all kind of material because I know you don't know jack about football, so you can just watch our tape, steal what we do, and then go use it on your show. All right. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. Al Borges. Here, let's go. So, concept videos. We've been telling people for years that we were going to give them some term because we talk about duos all the time. We
What's a
talk about
duo?
we talk about counters,
What's a counter?
insert zone,
Insert
all
zone.
of these terms that we talk about, Al.
Uh,
And people are like, so can you tell? Can you just break down what happens on these plays, fellas? And so, how about we do a reference video, a concept video? So when we get into the season and we say duo kick, right? Folks can go back and say, okay, well, what's a duo? You can go back and see what a base duo is. Or when we say duo read, they can go back and see what a base duo is, right? If we say counter OH, right? They can say, well, what does that mean? Counter OT, what does that mean? Al Borges, we can go back and they can go back and look at this tape. So, Al, we went back and looked at our film from last year. You curated select plays so you can dissect it for the people so they have references for the rest of the season, right?
We did just that, Sam. And hopefully, this will cover a lot of it. Now, there's going to be stuff during the season, and we'll use some term that's not understandable or not familiar, but this will cover a lot of what we talked about. So if anybody's asking what is a duo, you can go back to this, and we're going to detail a duo enough where you can go to the water cooler and beat the snot out of Joe Schmatz. I mean, you will know basically what a duo is, what conceptually a duo is, how it's blocked, where the aiming points are, the whole deal.
All right. So let's go ahead and get it started. And so, Al, we talk about duo so much. Would you say the duo is Michigan's sort of principal run play? Would you say that? Is that fair to
Yeah,
say?
I think so. If you go through all the games, it shows up more than any of them. Okay, there's certain games they don't use it as much as others. Have been some games. God dog, we had it like 17 times in some games.
All right. So we're bringing up a duo now. Let me set my screen. And so, Al, would you describe schemes? Let's talk schemes. Gap scheme, zone scheme. Is a duo a gap scheme play?
A duo is a gap scheme play. Yes, it is. It is the counter, the power, and the duo have similarities. The counter and the power are very similar. Now, the duo is a gap scheme where you block, and on all gap schemes, you block away from the way the ball's going. Okay. On the gap schemes, on the duo play, you block away to the near linebacker. Why is it called duo? That's short for double teams. Anytime you can get double teams, you want to get double teams. Sometimes you can't. But if you can, you want to put two bodies on one body so you get movement. Okay. Now, on this first one, this is a prime example, Sam, right here. You got more fat butts in there than you can count. Okay.
Right.
I mean, these guys came on the field and it tilted when they came on the field because you got a jumbo personnel running this duo. That's not always all big guys, but generally you've got a tight end and some kind of wing. Okay. In this instance, there's two wings. So they're forcing Nebraska in this case to play two more gaps. Okay, which is tough. Now you're kicking balls out to guys that are lesser run defenders. That's what kind of makes the duo good.
So let me sort of, because you're obviously a football expert. Let's sort of water it down for the not football experts. The way that I sort of conceptualized this so I could sort of discern between a duo and an inside zone is sort of thinking about, you gap away, gap away zone two.
Zone two. That's a great way to explain it. Yeah, that's a great way.
So when you think about gap schemes, you're gapping away from the play.
Right. The blocking is away from the scheme. Zone schemes, the blocking is toward the play the ball's going. Right.
Right. So that's one key. That's
Good
one
starting point.
context clue.
Yes.
And then the other thing that I'm thinking about is your back. What is your back keying on, right? And so looking at what the back is keying on with duos, you can kind of see what is his eye, what is he looking at, and you can see on duos back, your back is looking at the Mike backer.
At the
You have
middle linebacker. Yeah, the first strong side linebacker. He's going to see what he does. Now, on this play, the back kind of finds his own entry point, which means he's not going to key a lineman or anything to see where he enters. He's going to kind of feel that because he's watching that linebacker. That linebacker so often dictates where he's going to run the ball. If the linebacker stays in the hole and doesn't scrape outside, the back will generally bounce the ball to the outside. If the backer scrapes over the top, runs in behind his lineman, the back will oftentimes cut back. Okay. That's his starting point. Okay. Now, this play has a lot of autonomy, Sam. There's a lot of things you can do with it that don't necessarily go right in line with what I just told you. But that's his starting point. Attack the B gap, key the movement of the Mike linebacker.
Right.
Okay. Now, watch the reaction to the quarterback. Okay. This just goes a step further on the duel, Sam. This is a duo read, right? So the quarterback can actually pull this duel because he's in shotgun. If you're under center, you don't have that latitude. You have to basically hand him the ball and hope for the best, right?
Right.
But
So
what was happening at this? I'm sorry.
yeah, I was about to say, these teams were killing Michigan's duo, and they put reads on it to
Yes,
slow that
exactly.
guy on the perimeter.
So
Yeah.
let's look at this a second, okay? What was happening for the first few games is that the whitest guy for Nebraska was knifing down and eliminating gaps because the quarterback was under center and he felt unthreatened by the ball being pulled and taken to the perimeter. You with me? So what Michigan started doing more, because JJ is such a good runner anyway, is they put him in shotgun and he would read that defender. So if that defender came knifing inside to cancel all those gaps, he just run around the corner. And if you watch this play, the quarterback gets the attention briefly of the whitest defender. Okay? Because he's aware of the possibility that he slows down just enough to where Mullins can run right by him. Oh, what a dimensions this adds to the play. Now you don't have to block one guy that you had to block before or had to beat with the back. Okay.
Yeah. Imagine that's Alex Orji.
Yes. See, now you really got a guy that, not that JJ could. JJ was a great runner too, but Orji is another step as far as a runner goes.
We got an end zone view of this, which is really good.
Okay, now this shows you gun double wing duo. It's 3rd down and 1. Okay, they have got every guy covered, so there's going to be a limited amount of double teams on this thing, although there are a couple. Everybody is blocking to their right, and as you see this, to the left. Okay, but with their hand down, everybody's blocking to the right, which is away from the way the ball's being exchanged. Okay, you can see the right tackle blocks out, the right guard blocks out. Now we got a double team on the nose guard with the center and the left guard. The left tackle comes down to single the 3 technique, the guy outside the right guard or outside the left guard. And then the 2 tight ends double team that stand up to the front side linebacker. And then the other wing just blocks down on the strong safety. You can see it. Look at the angle, Sam. And because of the double teams, the movement. And then what they do is they book the whitest guy, number 6. He's in the book. That means we ain't blocking him. He is a quarterback's man to either pull the ball or hand the ball off based on his reaction. Number 26 there in the middle is the running backs guy because we can't block him. We don't have a guy for him. So if you get to that level, it's your job to win that either by juking him, running him over, or just breaking a tackle. Shotgun duo forces number 6 to play the quarterback for pull. And if you just watched 6's reaction, you will see See that moment of hesitation? Got a little Batman stance going, but his eyes are on McCarthy's. Oh, now all of a sudden he's up the field too far. He can't play Mullins. So now it's just Mullins and 26 because the movement up front is just wonderful. Bodies are moving back.
Yeah, we see how they're blocking back a man. Everybody's blocking back a man.
Everybody blocking back a man.
That's duo.
That is the essence of duo.
So that is an important play to commit to memory.
Now you see how that linebacker kind of moved to the left. That Mike linebacker kind of moved to the left. Mullins set him up to move him and then slid right outside him.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just a fantastic job up front. Getting bodies on bodies, getting that good movement, playing with good pad level and get off. Bull elk on bull elk.
Perfect. All right. So let's piggyback off of that, Al Borges. And, there are variations of duo, right?
Oh, God, there's many of them. We not even going to show them all here, but there's all kinds of ways to run this play. But the one thing about it, Sam, is the big guys pretty much do the same thing all the time. They're always blocking back away from the play. The perimeter may change a little bit on how they want to make their blocks.
Duo kick.
Duo kick, another way to do it. Kick simply means we're going to kick out the widest guy on the tight end. Rather than put a wing there like we did before and kind of bury him, this time we're going to kick him out. All the gaps are still accounted for, okay? In this case now, who is this? This is UNLV. They're trying to blitz every gap, unlike Nebraska did. They're trying to blitz every gap. But what Michigan does is they show great discipline, step with that inside foot, again, blocking away from the call and seeing what shows up, okay? They got a double team here to the linebacker who's blitzing. You can see Keegan is going to nudge that linebacker and go get the backside linebacker. He's going to kick that blitzer right into the left guard. See that? There's the kick out, but everybody else is just blocking duo. The great job here by the left tight end. He collects that blitzer. He slows down. See that I think it's a safety or might be a corner. And you can see Barner slows down to pick that blitz up so he doesn't run by it. He slows down just enough to pick it up. See that? Mm-hmm. Now they free up that end man who's kicked out. And there's your hole.
And you see him bend away from the mic?
Yep.
Or the middle backer. When I say Mike, I mean middle backer.
Middle linebacker, yeah.
Yep.
Just great discipline about seeing what's in front of you, making sure they all get blocked. Don't rush to the next level so quick that you hang your buddy out to dry. If you got to nudge the guy a little bit, as you can see Keegan doing here, he kind of nudges him right back to the left tackle and then goes and gets the backside linebacker. I believe that's Colston Loveland doing a kicking out.
Yeah. So you see the blocking opposite the exchange.
Yep.
Gap away. Gap away.
And Sam, you could also run a duo bluff. Now, we're not showing you that right now, but if that end closed too much, that guy kicking could fake like he's going to block him and go around the corner, quarterback pull the ball, run around the edge. We're going to talk about bluff somewhere down the line. So you can see there's just so many things you can do to conflict defenders, and make it harder for them on the mother play. The mother plays a duo, and then you got little sister plays and brother plays off that you run once they overplay the mother play.
Okay, so Al Borges, horns, pin and pulls, right?
You like those, Sam. We like those a lot, don't we?
We do.
Oh, those linemen love it because they get their nice big butts out there and everybody gets to see them make the block. It's not within the tackles where they're kind of hidden a little bit. But they get to run out there in front of running backs and they get to show their numbers. And Everybody can see it happen. They like the
You,
lemon like that. They like that
your
stuff.
your lingo is horn, but
Yeah,
most
horn is a general term for pin and pulls and G schemes. Okay, just so you know,
mm.
uh, pin
Oh
and
wait,
pulls
wait,
is
scratch that. We're going to counters. We're going to counters.
Oh, we're
Sorry.
going to get okay. We'll go back to horns.
Yeah,
Pin
we're
and
going
pulls.
to
All right.
pin and pulls after counters because
Okay,
they run more counters than they do pin and pulls.
they
So
do, and it's more natural
yeah,
to talk next about the counterplay.
yeah.
Okay, where everybody's blocking away. Only in this one now, we're going to pull somebody when we block away. Okay. Counter OF. O means the backside guards pulling, and F means the fullbacks pulling. Okay. OT means the backside guards pulling and the backside tackles pulling. OH means the backside guards pulling and the H backs pulling. Okay. So it's just telling you it's a gap scheme and who the pullers are. Okay. This is an OF. That's the guy that we're going to run opposite. Okay. Which means if he closes too hard, we'll go outside. If he stays outside, we'll kick him out and run inside. Okay, here's your techniques. You got a cram technique. Cram means there's nobody over me. Look at this, nobody over me. I'm just going to go inside and kill that inside linebacker. Okay, that's it. You're going to cram it in there. Okay. Next one's a deuce. Sam, you know what a deuce is? A deuce is a double team between the guard and the tackle. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
An ace is a double team between the center and the guard. And a tray is a double team between the tight end and the tackle. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's your deuce. They're going to double team to the backside linebacker, going to move that 3 technique, and then come off of the backside linebacker. I call it a seal with the center blocks back for the pulling guard. Okay, he's going to seal him so the guard can clear around. And then you got a puller. The puller on the counter play is going to kick out the first man outside the tight end. Okay, going to try and kick him out. He's going to try and kick him out. He'd like that play to hit vertical if he can. If that guy closes too much, he may spill it and the ball go outside. But he is responsible for that guy regardless of his technique.
First man outside.
First man outside, the offensive tackle. And then you got what you call a little stab peel. That means the backside tackle, he stabs his foot inside to see if there's anybody attacking the gap. If there's nobody attacking the gap, then he peels back and blocks that down guy, or what we call the 5 technique, the guy, the right defensive end. Okay. So now he secures the B gap and peels back to make sure that nobody chases the play down from the backside. The fullback steps a little bit forward and then finds an entry point. Depending on what happens on that kick out, if that thing's kicked out, which is going to happen here, he just runs inside, blocks first thing he sees. If that's spilled, which means the guy's playing with outside technique and trying to get the ball to go outside him, so he'll kind of come across and do a little, we call a wrong arm technique. Now the guard's got to see that and go around him. Okay. Well, whatever happens, the back just goes where the fullback goes. Fullback leads up inside, back leads up inside. Fullback goes around, back goes around. Just follow your wingman. And there, a little counter step. And then he attacks tight and then progresses gaps. A gap, which is a guard center. B gap, center tackle or guard tackle. C gap, tight end tackle. It could hit in any of those spots, right? 2 receivers are responsible for the safety, and in this case, the corner, because if the receiver thinks he's going to throw a bad block or a risky block for a penalty, he'll go ahead and just block back on the corner, which he does here. Okay. Oh, see, he didn't block, but the puller did get him. The receiver didn't get him, but the puller did get him.
Okay, so a couple of keys. You got 2 backside pullers. Why the counter step, Al? Why the counter step?
Just to get him moving a little bit left, and for a lot of reasons. First of all, maybe you get the defense to move a little left for a second to help set the blocks up, and to time out with those pullers. Because if he doesn't counter step, he'll get ahead of the pullers, and he wants to be slightly behind those pullers so he can see the play develop.
So counter, and then the next, what you hear next is who the pullers are.
Mm-hmm.
So OT, backside guard and tackle. In this case, what was it?
OF. The
OF.
fullback was the back. Bredesen was in the fullback position, okay, which is in the backfield. He was offset to the weak side, so I would call it a counter F, okay.
All
If
right.
he's on the line of scrimmage or off the ball, I should say, I'd call it a counter H.
All right. So we'll bring up another counter now. And this one is a counter OY.
Oh, why? Oh, why? Oh, well, then the Y's got to be off the ball, which he is. See, the tight end, who we call the Y receiver, the tight end's a wide receiver, he's off the ball. Now, that gives him an opportunity to pull from that position, all right? So you got another counter. OY means the backside guard's pulling, and the backside and the tight end's pulling backside also. So they're in 11 personnel. You can see it starts with a crack block
All right.
on the
So
safety.
hold up. When you say 11 personnel, what do you mean?
11 means 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end,
One
1
back.
back. Okay.
So one
Well,
back,
you always say, I'm sorry,
one back, one tight end.
1 back, 1 tight end, right? Oop, double team. We know there's your deuce. There's that deuce. There's that seal. There's that stab peel. We already know that. There's that guard pulling, and there's that tight end coming around the edge. Now, this time, Sam, what do? They spell it.
Mhm.
It isn't going to hit up inside this time. It's going to hit outside because the right defensive end closes down. The tight end sees that, goes around the block, picks up the scraping linebacker, the linebacker coming over the top, and the back now, instead of hit it inside, is going to hit the ball outside.
So let's look at it again.
There's your crackback block, which should take 2 guys with him. The corner should follow him. And then you crack the safety. That's a 2-for-1 exchange. There's your pull, and there's your pull, or what I call the wrap. The wrap is the second guy that tries to find what happened with the defensive end. Did he spill, or did he take it on with his inside arm and allow you to run the ball inside? That's just another form of counter. We saw a counter F. That is a counter Y. You could pull the backside tackle too, right, Sam?
Mhm.
You could pull a backside tackle with OT, and he would do the same thing the Y just did there. He'd have to make all those reads. Did he spill it? Did he allow it to go inside? You can do it with both the tackle and the guard.
All right. So Al, let's get a little advanced here. How do you determine who's going to pull on these plays?
Oh, Sam, you're kind of getting in. Now we're getting into what's that? You always got that one class that you took that was really hard. I can't remember.
Differential equations.
We're getting into differential equations now. This is pretty sophisticated, but you guys can handle this. This is Michigan. Sometimes the backside will be in a wide technique on the right guard. Okay. So what they'll say is, I tell you what, guard, don't you pull. You take that guy because I don't want to have to block him without wide. He may leak in the backfield. We can't get the play started, So he says to the guard, I'm going to pull. Center says, I'm going to pull. You take that guy, and I will now kick out the defensive end, or, if he spills it, all the same stuff that the guard could happen to him that happened to the guard. And you will now occupy him. It won't change anybody else. If the Y was asked to pull on the play, he will continue to ask to pull. If the fullback's asked to pull, he will pull. But they may have a little nuance there to deal with a wide 3 technique. 3 technique meaning a guy in an outside position on your guard. That's called a 3 technique, okay? And we don't want him to leak up the field, so we're going to make a call to change the first puller. Mm-hmm. Is that clear to you, Sam?
Yeah, and you'll learn about techniques if you haven't watched the Vance video, alignments and shades. You'll learn about that in the defensive video, so you'll know what Al is talking about there. But these linemen can make that decision on the fly about who pulls on these plays.
Absolutely. See, there's base plays, Sam. Then there's the nuance within the play, the calls they can make based on what the defense is doing. kinds of little stuff going on in there that you don't really know about until you see the film.
Mhm, mhm. All right. So we talk about backside pullers. Let's talk about G lead, Al. Let's talk about G lead. Harbaugh loved G lead.
Oh, G lead. This is one of my favorites. G lead is a little different now. See, G means the front side guard's pulling, and it's driving me nuts, Sam, lately because I'm watching these videos and they keep calling it a GT on a counterplay. The G is the front side guard.
Right.
The O is the backside guard, but that confuses me every time. Maybe I'm just too old school, but this is a G, front side guard pulling, lead, which means the fullback is leading through. Okay?
All
Can be
right.
run on the goal line, can be run out on the field, doesn't really matter, but generally run under center. Okay? It can be really difficult to get the backside linebacker on a G lead. It's just hard to get to sometimes because of the nature of the defense. So we kind of tell the back, that backside linebacker, you're gonna might have to beat him. Okay, we got to block all the other ones, but you might have to beat him. All right, Sam, do you remember what box force is?
I do not remember what box force is.
Box force means that the outside linebacker, is going to take it on with his inside arm because there's nobody playing the flat. You understand? He can't spill it because he would spill it to nobody. He's responsible for contain. You understand?
Mhm.
And then spill force means now he's got a guy behind him. He can spill it to the next guy. You understand? This would be box force here. So now we love that on G plays because they're easier to kick out when they're box force. All right. There's your double team to the near linebacker. There's your box force, which means he's going to take it on with his inside arm, which gives us a better chance to kick out. There's your double team to the backside linebacker, and those two just have the back two. All right. The fullback now is going to eyeball that inside linebacker. He stacks in behind the pulling guard. As soon as the guard leaves, he becomes the new guard. Okay. He's the new guard. And now he just watches what happens and fills in there right underneath that kick out and blocks the first thing to show in the hole. The back, his job is to follow the fullback. Okay. Stack the guard, find an entry point. Follow the fullback. Maverick, don't leave your wingman. Okay. Fullback's a wingman. He sees the hole. He follows him in. Gain of 10 yards.
All right. So from G lead, now Al, let's go from G lead to power.
Okay. Power. Power now, this is going to be a power O. What's O? O means the backside guard's pulling, right? Very, very similar to the counterplay. Okay. In this case, we put Trente Jones in there. He's going to be the point of attack. So we got a big body in there. The gap blocking is the same as the counter. The deuces and the trays and the double teams and the pulling guard. Only this time it's a pulling guard. We're not going to do, we're always going to pull a guard on this play. Okay. The fullback is going to kick out the edge rather than the guard kicking out the edge, who did it on the counterplay. Okay. The fullback's going, and there goes the guard's going to wrap around and block the first thing to show in the hole. The outside receiver is going to come down and block that strong safety. There's that guy blowing up the field. Redison kicks him out. Blake runs inside him. The corner is unblocked. Brace yourself, meat. You're about to get embarrassed. And there he goes. Very similar to the counterplay. Matter of fact, we would put the counterplay and a power play in the same day because they were so easy for the line just to transition to the next play because most of the rules were the same. I used to call this God's play. Now it's kind of gone by the wayside with a lot of teams. Harbaugh kept it. You don't see a lot of powers anymore, but boy, in the old days, this was we call this God's play because it was a starting point for the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty nice there, Sam.
Yes, it was.
So these plays, remember I told you, we were talking about this today, Sam, is they're in families. You know what I mean? They're in families. You got to, the power and the counter are in the same family, you know? You get into the zone schemes, they're in the same family. So the line kind of does the same thing on plays that are in the same family. You know, and it should be easy for them to learn.
All right. So then, what about when you said late in the season they put a lot of big asses on the field?
Oh yeah, that's nice. There goes the field tilting against Sam Moons. We're on the field and and then you put big guys at the point of attack, uh, block down, and make them defend all those gaps against guys that can really block now. No skinny asses, Sam. No skinny asses get in there on this. And we are putting all fat rear ends in there that can move the line of scrimmage. Okay, this is where Michigan was unique in a lot of ways and really helped them win all the games they won. Is they didn't hesitate to put big bodies in there to make the defense play in a box, and they were good at it. There's a power play. At a jumbo personnel. You got 3 tight ends in there, Sam, but they're really not even tight ends. They're linemen. Look at those bodies. Look at them. Jumbo, quad power means there's 4 guys over there. 4 guys over there, and Bredesen's there to kick out. So you kind of got 5 guys over there. Everybody's blocking back, blocking black, pulling the guard, kicking the guy out. Poundage, lots of pounds that are on bodies that sometimes they can't hold up. Here, Penn State's trying to slant their line and do all that. They're running sideways while you're coming off. You like that. You like that. Get them running sideways and we're coming off. We got a great chance to get some movement. Here's a Gabby call. I won't go into that right now, but that's just another way to block back, okay? But you can see the problems from a run force responsibility standpoint it is for the defense. It's just hard. Jumbo personnel in that game averaged 9.8 in 12 plays. 9.8 yardage in 12 plays of jumbo. I think it's pretty safe to say that Penn State did not handle their jumbo package very well. 12 plays, 9.8 per play. Wow. That's a lot. Penn State got great pass rush in this game early in the game. Michigan shifted gears, and they didn't handle this stuff as well as they did the pass stuff.
Boy, they had poor discipline on the perimeter in this game.
Yeah, and you can't with this kind of personnel, because what happens a lot of times is people that are involved in run support are lesser run defenders, as opposed to when you spread people out more, you get better run defenders. But in this instance, you got corners a lot of times that are enforced, and corners, they get on scholarship to cover, you know?
Mm-hmm. So you've seen some variations of counter, some variations of power, right? So Al, now we've talked about plays with a few plays with pullers. Mm-hmm. Let's get to another family of plays with pullers. You call them horn plays. Pin and pulls.
Pin and pull. Yeah. And again, horns are plays where guys are going around a horn. You know what I mean? Front side guards or tackles are pulling to the play side, designed to go outside to start with. Okay. All right. This is a pin and pull here. Michigan is going to actually put a guy in motion to kind of soften the support. This is a pin and pull versus 4-2 crash cover 1. Crash means the corner is going to blitz, but that doesn't bother a good pin and pull team. And I'll show you why here in a second. The pinners mean 2 guys got to come down and pin the man to the inside. Get up and down with your inside foot, get the hat placement on the outside shoulder, and don't let the guy leak. Then you got the center will seal back just like he does on powers and counters. And now the front side guard, in this front anyway, will pull and block the first thing to show to the outside. If nothing shows to the outside, then he will wrap up and block the inside. In this case, they corner blitz, so he takes the corner blitzer. The second puller will pull and block the first thing to show to the inside. Right. So the front side guard's responsible for getting the play started, and the backside guard is responsible for leading the back to the promised land. Okay. Oh God, those are some bad diagrams there, Sam.
Yeah. Right.
There, boom. You see that?
How would you tell people who are asking? I'm sure there's some fans. Give me a clue. I know I have my way that I recognize the difference between a pin and pull and a counter, but how would you advise a fan who wants to quickly recognize the difference between a counter and a pin and pull? How would you tell it? What would you
Yeah,
tell them?
you would never see a front side guard pull on a counter play.
Exactly.
Okay. That
Yeah.
would right away you see that, it's a pin and pull.
Yeah.
You may see a center pull now, as we talked about that earlier, but you would not see a front side guard pull on a counter play. Okay. That's generally the backside guard and somebody else. Okay. Whether it's a tackle, we talked about that already.
Yep.
Now, this play is blocked differently based on what the front is. In this case, you got a 3 technique and a 7. So they're just down in it. But there are instances on the pin and pulls where the tackle will pull rather than the guard. Okay. Different fronts, the plays run differently. Okay. In terms of how they block.
Let's stay in the family and go with a fly crack.
Okay. Here's another pin and pull. A form of pin and pull. All right. And when we get to it, we'll show you the nuance, what's a little different. Okay. Now they're going to put Blake Corum in motion and give him a fly sweep, fastest hitting play in football, right? Fastest hitting sweep in football. So there's a crack back on the first inside linebacker, and there's a pin by the stand-up tight end. That's a pin. Okay. Now the tackle, because of the front now, is going to pull. He's going to pull. So again, that's just another way to pin and pull. And everybody else is just going to zone. Now, why didn't they pull in other guys, Sam? Why didn't they? Well, it's a fly sweep, which is really a fast hitting sweep. He would outrun backside pullers. You see what I mean? He'd outrun a center puller. So on this play, they say, we're just going to pin the primary guys on the front side, which would be generally the tackle, because he can get in front the fastest, right? And we'll just zone the rest of them. But it's still a form of a pin and pull.
That's why when I saw this live, I didn't call it a pin and pull.
No, it's just in the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just in the family. You may not even call it a pin and pull, but it's in the horn family, okay? But you can see it looks similar to what we just saw him do against Minnesota, just different puller based on the front or what they're trying to get done. It's a fly, so it's faster, so we need to pull the tackle rather than pull guards and centers. We don't have it, Sam. We do actually have. We just didn't telestrate it. But against Penn State, they had a quarterback pin and pull, if you remember, early in the game, where the quarterback did basically the same thing, ran around the edge with the tackle pulling and the tight ends blocking down. Just another way to run a horn play.
Right. So old school play on those running plays in football is ISO. Love the ISO, right? Let's just run up there, get behind that fullback. He's gonna go blow up the linebacker. You're gonna get on his backside and run right off him. But let's talk about insert zone, Al.
Oh yeah. A little different, but not way different. Not way different. This is similar football play, and this is a play that kind of complements the split zone. We talk about split zone, but in this case, the ball is coming out the open side. It's going to the right. Okay, Sam? The reads are to the right, but to the left, you've got a tight end off the ball who's going to wrap around. Watch this. There you got zone blocking to the right, all zone blocking to the right, and the tight end's going to come underneath that left tackle rather than zone with him like you want on just an open zone play. He's going to come underneath and isolate that linebacker so that now, if the back presses it in there and sees fast flow, he can come back the other way and turn it into an ISO play.
Okay.
Understand?
All right. So I asked, I was doing an interview with Max Bredesen for CBS because the touchdown against Ohio State after Zach Zinner gets hurt was an insert zone. I said, Max, how on an insert zone do you determine your insert point? His eyes lit up, Al Borges. He said, "Oh, that's a great question." So I'll throw it to you, Al Borges. Insert point on an insert zone. Do you just is it just this? Just so you just go inside that? How do you determine it?
Well, what you do in this instance, you have an open B gap. Okay, there's room in there. So what the tight end's going to do is kind of shuffle underneath and attack the B gap, unless he sees that defensive end do what we call spike or slant. In which case, now he can not try an insert, but go around him to get that linebacker. Does that make sense? But his starting point is he wants to come underneath into that little hole. See that spot? And as long as that end won't slant and block him and cut him off, he'll go ahead and take that insert entry point. Okay. So he's always thinking, wrap around for the B gap until you can't get it. But he can get it here. Oh, boy, is that nice. Yeah, that's an insert there.
All right. Let's get one more zone play in to round out the run menu is what we focused on in this concept video, Al. We focused on runs. And so let's go open zone. When you say open zone,
you have a tight zone, which is to the tight end side, or you have an open zone, which is to the open side where there is no tight end. Okay. In this instance, there is no tight end. He's spread out. Okay. So the ball is going behind a open side or a split inside. Okay. In this play, they're trying to spread them out, get people detached, and run into a light box. Well, Penn State, they blitz. The problem is, they don't have very disciplined blitz lanes. And Michigan does a fabulous job of seeing the blitz and plussing the protection. Or plussing the blocking scheme. They bring everybody to the left to pick dudes off. And the backside of Penn State's defense just runs right by the back. And he just curls right back underneath him. So you'll see here in the telestration, they're attacking the weak side, but because of the nature of the movement of the defense, they take the ball back. Okay? They're all standing up, Sam. They're all standing up. I think it's third down and I don't know what, but it's a lot. They're all standing up thinking pass rush. You can see Ladarius, Keegan, all the guys just step to their left and see what shows up. You see that? And Barnhart's the hero on this because he steps inside and washes that blitzer right by. The two Penn State guys blow outside, God knows why, and allows the tight end to get up on the safety, and it's over. Okay, it's over. There's no gap integrity to the defense. Donovan gets the ball, attacks the front side for a little bit, sees the movement of the defense and cuts back against it. And Barnhart kind of gives him the opportunity to come right. Oh, see how he did that? That's what you call a jump cut, where they attack it, put their foot in the ground, and jump cut back the other direction once the defense is moved with his movement.
That's great vision. Great vision.
Great vision. Great vision. Great. This was just well done. And Penn State didn't do a very good job with their gap control either, which helps.
Yeah.
But I don't care. You could screw this up easily against a blitz and somebody leak in there and the play never gets started. So this is just a great job by the line. Be disciplined about picking up dudes that are falling into gaps.
Yes, sir.
There's just a ton of movement here, but Michigan is completely unperturbed by the movement. They knock them off like you see dominoes drop.
All right, Al. So we focused on run concepts because I mean that's really the toughest to understand. We can show a couple of past diagrams on the way out of here on this episode, ones that you talk about commonly here throughout the episodes. We talk about dagger a lot. You talk about drive concepts a lot, and so these are concepts that I think people need to understand. So I'm gonna pull them up on the screen, and you can just describe them very quickly, as we'll just rifle through them to close out the episode. So I'll pull them up on the screen. I want to thank Vance Bedford because he went through one of his old playbooks, and he had some offensive plays in there. So I said, I'm gonna steal these for Al Borges. All right, so here we go, Al. We're gonna start with a simple drive concept.
Simple drive. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, drive, just a shallow cross with generally somebody coming in behind the shallow cross on a dig. Okay, and they're both on the same side. Okay, shallow cross first, short dig behind it, which is short dig meaning a basic, what we call a basic cross or a 10-yard break in behind a shallow cross. Okay, quarterback will usually look at the shallow cross first and look at the basic with somebody to check down after the fact. That's a drive route.
But drive is it's a concept. You got two routes together.
That's a concept. That's exactly right. A lot of ways to drive. A lot of different people can do it.
All right. Dagger.
Oh, dagger. Yeah, dagger means the inside receiver is blowing the top off the coverage. Okay, want to put a fast guy in there when you run this play. He's going to blow the top off the coverage, which means he wants to get behind the deepest defender. And then the outside receiver is going to run what we call a digger or a 16 to 18-yard break-in in behind that post route or that guy blowing the top of the coverage out, okay? And usually there's someone checking down into the flat or checking through the line of scrimmage on a play pass or whatever who's the check down guy. But these are the two primary looks. You alert to the guy running deep, but you're really thinking trying to find a throwing lane into that break-in.
Okay.
Dino. Ooh, I like this. Dino is short for double post, okay? One guy, the inside guy, is generally breaking across the face of the free safety, and the other guy is running a post route. Sometimes he'll double move that post route. That's very common on Dino routes. The quarterback if the safety doesn't respect the first post, the quarterback will throw it to him. If the safety goes with the first post, he'll throw the second post unless that looks ugly, and he's usually got somebody in the flat or crossing to check the ball down to. That's a Dino. Ooh, pin. This one is for quarters coverage, cover 4 when they're 4 across the board. The inside receiver runs that same route we talked about on drive, where he'll run a break in at about 12 yards, a basic cross, and he'll try and pull the safety up with that pattern so they can throw a post route behind him. Okay? Post in. That's what pin is. Okay, here's an outside flood, OVS. One guy running deep, blowing the top off. Another guy breaking to the corner, intermediate between 18 and 22 yards, generally closer to 22 yards. And someone slipping into the flat so that if you don't like any of the first two options, he gives you an opportunity to have someone to check the ball down to. So deep, intermediate, short. This is an outside flood. Okay, you can do the same thing with an inside flood. Run a guy to the post, run the guy on the dig, and run somebody over the ball, and you got the same thing. You're just attacking different zones.
I'm gonna see if I can find. I know he had a smash. Okay, here we go. I got a smash. All right, Al Borges, put this on the screen for the people to see.
Ooh, there's a smash. All right. On a smash, the inside receiver is generally running a corner route. He'll push up about 12 yards, give a little post fake, and then break high for the corner. The outside receiver will run up the field about 5 yards. In this instance, he's running a return route where he starts inside, pops back out. That's one way to smash. You can run up field and just hook up. You can smash that way. Sometimes those guys will come up the field, hold for a beat, and break in. Those are all smash concepts, or what you call China concepts. But this is a smash. Another thing you'll see a lot on the smash that Michigan does is rather than run the corner, they will run what I call an internal fade. So that if they get a matchup with a safety or a nickel trying to cover your internal fade, they'll take the ball on top. Okay? So a smash can be with a corner, a smash can be with an internal fade. A smash can be with a simple hitch, or a smash can be with a little return route like you're seeing there. But it's basically the same thing for the quarterback.
Gotcha. All right, folks. So this is your concept video. This is your key for the season, your basics that should help you through the rest of the way. If ever you're stuck, if ever you need a guide to help you out, this is what you can go back to kind of help you with the basics.
Good
All right.
starting point. Good starting point. You betcha.
Good starting point.
Yeah, I
So,
like it a lot.
so this will help you the rest of the way. Now, remember, all of the film studies will be available henceforth and forevermore on the Autograph app. Autograph.
I got to get that, Sam. I don't even have that yet. I got to get that. What am I doing?
What is autograph? If you
What
don't know
am
what
I
autograph,
doing?
where have you been if you don't know what autograph
Oh,
is?
Sam, I don't know. I got
Autograph, very simple. It's what you already do as a fan. Reading blogs, listening to podcasts, watching film studies like this one, all in one place on your phone, your Android, your iOS, meaning your iPhone, your iPad. And for doing those things that you normally do as a fan, you earn rewards for every act of fandom that you do. And the Autograph app is completely free, available to you on Android and iOS. All you got to do is download it.
That's a pretty good price, Sam. That's a pretty good price, man.
So right, just download it. Here's the QR code. My man Lance, my great producer Lance, put it up on the screen. Download it for you Droid users. Download it for you iOS users. Listen, for those who, it's like, I don't know how to scan a QR code. I get it. I understand some folks are challenged in that way. I'm not going to talk about you. I'm just going to give you a link and tell you how you can type in a link to go to it. link.ag.fan/SamWebb. Link.ag.fan/SamWebb. We're going to put it in the comments. We're going to put it in the description. You can get to the download that way. This is where you will find the film studies moving forward. Autograph was co-founded by Tom Brady. No other reason. It's Tom Brady's baby. It is on the belief that devotion should be rewarded and the future of fandom belongs to you, the fans. So let's dive into the future, into the features, key highlights, this Autograph app. So it's going to be a great season for the football breakdowns. Focus on the offense with Al Borges and the defense with Vance Bedford. And by the way, don't forget the Buckeye film studies. We're going to do those in the Michigan bye weeks. Al and Vance are going to be watching the Buckeyes every week of the season.
Sam, we're going to be their huddle. We're going to be their huddle, Sam.
Right. They're going to be curating plays.
Curating. That's good word for you.
Right? Leading up to the first bye week. And then when Michigan hits that first bye week, we're going to do a Buckeye film study that week, available to you on the Autograph app. And then they're going to do the same thing leading up to Michigan's second bye week before the Northwestern game. And we're going to do that second film study, available to you on the Autograph app. But in order to make that happen, we got to fund it. Look, I told you it's hard work being Gorgeous. So we gotta pay Al for his time, Advance for their time. So we're funding the Buckeye breakdowns. We're funding these Buckeye film studies. So click that PayPal link to fund the Buckeye breakdowns, to fund the Buckeye film study. Go ahead, fund the Buckeye breakdown with Al Borges, fund the Buckeye breakdown with Vance Bedford, and we are gonna make it happen. It's gonna be, you think Connor Stallions had them dialed up, we're gonna dial them up even better. All right, I promise you, it's gonna be outstanding.
This is what we do, Sam. This is what we do.
It's going to be a great season. Folks, outstanding. Glad you're going to be with us. Stay with us all season here on the Michigan Football Breakdown. Focus on the offense. Only available to you on the Autograph app. We'll see you next time.
Go Blue.